2 weeks ago, I set out to build the ultimate turbo K24 Honda Civic Si, and I said at the end when the car is complete, it is going to be going home to one of you guys. Well boys, today is that day. Now before we get too carried away, the car is not 100% complete, but you'll see later on in today's video, the first start is now out of the way. I asked you guys a few videos ago, what are we doing for the exhaust, either hood exit or a full exhaust? I was blown away by the amount of responses. Pretty much everybody said full exhaust. That is the reason we do not have a hood on the car yet. If I had a hood on the car already, it would have been cut for this exhaust. But now that we're gonna do a full exhaust, I'll have to do some mods there, get a full exhaust on the car, and then the hood can go on. Nonetheless, the giveaway is officially live right this second. Every $3 you spend on the website is one entry to take home the 2000 Honda Civic Si EM1 K24 built motor, built trans. And when this thing is tuned, it'll be making north of 500 horsepower to the tires. The goal for the day is to hopefully, keyword hopefully, get the first start out of the way. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and compile a complete list of everything that needs to get done on this car to get it running. On this side is everything required for the first start. On this side is everything required additionally for the first drive. This thing looks like it's almost ready to fire, but we still need an engine wiring harness, ECU, injectors, fuel pump exhaust, BOV intake air temp sensor, wideband oil pressure sensor, engine oil, gear oil. That, my friends, is a lot to get done. So guess what? Let's get started. The first thing I want to take care of is the engine wiring harness. So I have here a K-tuned race spec K-series engine harness. Now this is going to control 99% of the things on this engine. I will have to build a separate, like a sub harness for things like our flex fuel sensor, oil pressure sensor, things of that nature. But this is going to control, of course, the injectors, the coil packs, cam crank, alternator, cooling fans, all that good stuff will be controlled right through the K-tuned race grade tucked engine harness. Let's get this bad boy installed. Now this right here is their tucked version, so it should look very, very nice and clean in the engine bay. My goal with wiring is to always have it easy to work on, but as hidden and tucked as possible. This car already has a tucked fuse box. Typically it's right up in that corner there. It is now mounted underneath the dash. This is a Honda build. In my opinion, Honda engine bays need to be very, very clean, simple, and I think we can easily achieve that with this build. Engine harness is installed and complete as soon as our coil pack cover goes on and our intake manifold goes on. Pretty much all of the engine wiring will be hidden. Exactly what we wanted. Moving on to the engine ECU. You already know, me, myself, I'm a big Haltech guy. We're gonna be running a Haltech Elite 1500 on this car. With a lot of the crazy builds that have a million different sensors, drive-by-wire, rolling anti-lag, a million different things going on, I usually go with the Nexus R3. This car is a little bit more simplified than, say, a K-Swap NSX. So the Elite 1500 is gonna be plenty capable of everything we wanna get done on this car. That is one beautiful ECU. Now to make this all work seamlessly and easily, we have two different things we're gonna use. This right here is a Haltech plug and play adapter. The K-tuned engine harness we just installed will plug into these. I believe it's these first three connectors here. And then this side will plug ECU number 1, ECU number 2, just like that. So we have the ECU, plug and play adapter, K-tuned engine harness plugs in here. Now, we do have another wiring connector. This is, I guess you could say, another plug and play adapter. This is the C101 wiring harness from K-tuned. This white plug-in right here will plug right in should. There we go. Plug right into our plug and play adapter. We have an OBD2 port, then we have all the relays, fan, fuel pump, all that good stuff. All this right here is going to effectively make this thing a plug and play setup. Now we will have to do a little bit of wiring for our additional sensors. Like I mentioned earlier, flex fuel, oil pressure, fuel pressure, that kind of stuff. I'll wire in separately later on. Not a big deal because this takes care of 99% of the wiring on this car. I'm pretty excited with how all of this is coming out. So I have the ECU mounted right back there, and then underneath the carpet will be the plug and play adapter harness. All gets tucked away very nicely, and when this is fully reassembled, it'll look like a factory car, which is exactly what I wanted. Engine harness and ECU are both done. Let's move on to the fuel system. Injectors, fuel pressure regulator, flex fuel sensor itself, fuel pump, all that good stuff. The car thankfully does already have a dash 8 feed and a dash 6 return from the pump up to the rail, so we're all good to go there. We don't need to do anything, but I do need to go ahead and slap in bigger injectors. This is the intake manifold setup that we're running. It's a Skunk 2 intake manifold with a 70mm K-tuned throttle body, still drive by cable, a K-tuned fuel rail. And when this car was NA, I was running a set of ID 1050Xs, which were great for an NA ethanol car. Those are not going to be nearly big enough for what we're trying to do, so we're going to be upgrading to a set of 1650s. And here are the injectors that we're going to be running. You might be thinking, Devin, they look used. They are. I pulled them out of the NSX. Here's why. These are a set of 1650s. When I ordered them for the K-Swap NSX build, my goal with that car was like 600 wheel. Of course, things have escalated extremely far. That car is now going to go to a set of 2200s. So the 1650s will be perfect, absolutely perfect in the EM1. Now, if you're a Honda guy, you've definitely heard of this company before. These are from Alpha Injection, AKA these are AI 1650s. If you're not a Honda guy, this company is massive in the Honda world, but they do make injectors for other makes and models. For example, all you Evo guys, they also make Evo injectors as well. Now, these Alpha injectors on the NSX were super easy to have set up. That thing fired up right out of the gate, no issues whatsoever. And the thing I like the most about the Alpha injectors is all of the injector data is available for download right off their website. All you have to do, head to their website, injector tuning data. We are running, as you guys know, Heltec. So let's click on Heltec, download. We have all the injection dead time, the pulse width, the voltage, all the injection data available right on their website. Not to mention the color they put on these hats, absolutely beautiful. Now I do need to go ahead and do a quick little injector connector swap. The K-tune harness is set up for maybe an OEM injector or something along those lines, because it is much different than the injector connectors we need for these guys. The injectors are all sorted out. If you guys want to pick up a set of these things, I'll go ahead and link them down below. Let's move on to the flex fuel sensor and the regulator. So the regulator is currently mounted right here and our turbo is right there. It's a little tight for my liking. So I'm gonna move this probably up front here, and then we need to build in or install the flex fuel sensor somewhere in the return system as well. So let's see if we can find a nice clean place for both the reg and the flex. regulator, the flex fuel sensor, and all of the lines running back to the rail and all the way to the pump are done. Now I do need to go ahead and wire in the flex sensor back to the ECU, but if I'm gonna do any wiring, I wanna get it all done at once. So let's also slap on the boost control solenoid. It'll be a 3-port boost control solenoid, and the oil pressure sender. Mac 3-port with an Amazon special $10 billet bracket. Let's find a good spot for this. So we need to build a sub harness for these 3 things: oil pressure, boost control, and the flex. Boost control and flex are 12 volt, oil pressure is 5 volt, and flex both need a ground. Boost control does not. So our sub harness will have 6 wires, 3 input, 5 volt, 12 volt, ground. The sub harness is built and installed. Very simple, very clean. Stoked with how the wiring turned out on this car. Another thing we need for the first start is a wideband. So this is the WB1 kit, a single channel wideband from Heltec, pretty much a plug and play unit right with the Heltec Elite 1500 ECU that we're running. So the WB1 box will plug into the ECU. Wideband sensor, of course, goes in the exhaust. And then we have the harness connecting the two, and we're done. Very, very, very simple. Wideband box is gonna sit down here next to the plug and play adapter. Now, in order to install the wideband, of course, we need some exhaust. So let's go ahead and get the hood exit exhaust and the hood exit wastegate installed. All right, we are at the stage where we can push for the first start on the Turbo EM1. I need to go ahead and slap the axles back in. One of the axles, the passenger side, has a torn boot, so I'll get that replaced real quick. Get the axles in, slap in our transmission gear oil, engine oil. What else do we need? Attempt the first start, I guess. We are now ready for some fluids on this beautiful build. There's one thing that is not beautiful, in my opinion, this. The throttle cable sticks up like 100 feet. I'm gonna have to try to figure something out there later on. But for now, engine oil, gear oil, not gonna worry about any cooling system stuff yet. I just wanna get some oils in here so we can build some oil pressure and see about getting this thing cranked up for the first start. You already know, Valvoline VR1 2050 for the engine oil, and Synchrotech MTF for the transmission. Being that we have the Synchrotech synchros in this transmission, this is what they require you to use. So here is the plan for the rest of the day. I have my base map here. My good buddy, Brian Alves, the same tuner who's tuning the twin turbo K-Series NSX, is taking care of the tuning on the EM1 as well. So I have the base map here, Gonna go ahead and load this up. Make sure all of our sensors are reading properly, specifically like wideband, oil pressure, really important stuff for a first start. As soon as we make sure all that's working and reading properly, I'm gonna go to crank the engine over with no plugs, no coil packs, no fuel pump, crank it till we have oil pressure. As soon as oil pressure is built, we'll activate fuel pump, slap in some plugs, and go ahead and knock out the first start. I'm excited. Let's get her done. The base map is loaded onto the Haltech ECU. Now the sub harness for the oil pressure, the flex, and the boost control. These wires here, I need to wire this into the ECU as well so we get some readings. All right, flex fuel is up and running. Oil pressure hopefully works. Oh yeah, look at that. We have oil pressure. It's time, boys. It is officially time for the first start. We have oil pressure, we have fuel pressure. The only thing we do not have is spark plugs and coil packs. So let's install those, crank this thing over, hopefully she'll fire up. The car is alive. Not well, as you guys can hear, but it is alive. So I am missing the idle air control motor, the stepper motor, I guess you'd call it. This car is staying drive-by cable. We could potentially get it to idle without the idle control valve motor, but I ordered an OEM one, waiting on that thing to show up. As soon as that is in, we'll bolt that sucker on, and this thing should idle a whole lot better. I met my goal of getting the first start out of the way today. First drive should be coming tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you boys in the next episode.